with the Hulk. Now, if you've been following my channel, you know for a long time I have had many issues with the depiction of the Hulk um, over the years in the MCU. I have an entire video dedicated to this where I have talked about how the MCU has failed the Hulk for years. And that includes so up until Avengers in 2012. So once he punched that ship, it went downhill for the Hulk ever since then, in my opinion. And Marvel's got some work to do. They've got some work to do to bring the Hulk back to the level of popularity and status that we all know Hulk can actually achieve. With that said, I have also been critical of or skeptical, I should say, of the upcoming Captain America Brave New World film. We've heard a lot of rumors. We've already gotten some casting information that Harrison Ford was going to be in there. There's a lot of speculation that he is going to play Red Hulk. And then there was also the news that you had other like Betty Ross, the character was going to come back. And maybe the leader was going to come back. So, in other words, this was starting to sound like more of a Hulk movie featuring Captain America versus an actual Captain America solo film. With that said, there was also speculation on whether or not Mark Ruffalo, the current MCU Bruce Banner Hulk, whether he was going to be in the Captain America film or not. Well, recently he was at I want to say it was a film festival or something of that nature. And he apparently confirmed that he will be returning in Brave New World. Oh, excuse me. And it says here, at the Santa Barbara International Film Festival, the actor revealed that he'll be back as Bruce Banner for the upcoming Captain America Brave New World. Well, so much for that Captain America movie being a Captain America movie, right? If you're going to have Bruce Banner, the Hulk, come in, and you're going to have all these other supporting characters from the Hulk movies also come in. Yikes. Yikes. But there was a twist. There was a twist. Because we don't know if we can trust Mark Ruffalo. Because as soon as we heard that the Hulk was going to show up in Captain America 4, there was a quick update that said, and it says, no, Mark Ruffalo is not going to be in Captain America Brave New World. And they said that he just misspoke. Oh, he misspoke. Now, in case you did not know, Mark Ruffalo has had a long history of misspeaking. Okay. Now, here's just a little background information. It says here the misunderstanding further adds to Ruffalo's legendary reputation for Marvel-related PR gaffes. He accidentally spoiled the ending of Infinity War during an interview with Good Morning America in 2017. He accidentally live streamed the first 20 minutes of Thor Ragnarok on Facebook from the world premiere of the film in 2017, and he accidentally spoiled the ending of Avengers Endgame in 2019. Mark Ruffalo cannot be trusted. This man has got a whole track record where he cannot be trusted. Now, let me go through what happened during the interview, and this is where they're saying he misspoke. Okay, this is what they're saying. Asked by the moderator, Ann Thompson, if he would next appear in the 2025 feature, Ruffalo nodded his head and said, yeah. And she said, are you allowed to talk about that? He said, yeah, it's going to be great. Now, alas, according to multiple sources, aka Marvel, Ruffalo is not actually going to be in Brave New World. Instead, he misspoke, thinking he was agreeing that Brave New World is one of Marvel's next films, not that he was going to be in it. You already know what I'm thinking. Sir, y'all ever heard of a Freudian slip? I don't even think it was a Freudian slip. I think it just was what it was. I'm sorry. My man was sitting here nodding his head. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen, the body don't lie. You can say something, but the body don't lie. Okay. I don't trust him. I just don't. I believe him. I believe him, but I don't trust him. I think he, or I'm sorry, I don't trust whoever these sources are or whatever. I Two things I think will happen. Two things. One, Ruffalo will be in this Captain America movie because I'm sorry, I don't really see how Hulk, not Bruce Banner, how Hulk would be okay with another Red Hulk running around and not want to show up. Now, at the end of She-Hulk, it is possible that Hulk might be off planet. That could be the case. So I would not be surprised if Hulk shows up in a cameo, like maybe a post-credit scene or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised about that. Or maybe he was in the movie, and because Marvel is notorious for constantly editing and making changes to their movies up until the very last minute, they probably took him out. I would not be surprised if he was in it and then they took him out. I would not be surprised about that whatsoever. So here's something else that Mark Ruffalo that he also said. Now, this was at the same event, and according to him, okay, he said Kevin Feige is reportedly blocking a standalone Hulk movie. Once again, I call cap, but we'll get into that. I think that everyone has been wanting another standalone movie. I would say, especially after Avengers in 2012. Um, I was always a fan of the 2008 Ed Norton Hulk movie. Now, let me be very clear. The movie is trash. It's not good. But the depiction of Hulk is fantastic. The Hulk that we get in that movie is the Hulk we always should get at all times. My man literally said Hulk smash. My man sat here and picked up 2 cars and made them his boxing gloves and went to town and beat the living daylights out of that abomination. That is the Hulk we deserve. Again, the movie is not good. The movie is full of cheesy lines, bad writing. You think this came from 1995. But that is hands down the best time we've ever seen the Hulk. So I am definitely here for a standalone Hulk movie. I think everybody that, especially comic fans, already know Hulk is not one to be played with. I know they tried to tease it with the Thor Ragnarok, but man, if we could get that world breaker Hulk, the world ain't ready. They not ready. But he's sitting here saying that the Hulk was being blocked by Kevin Feige. Now, let me just give y'all just a little information for those of y'all that don't know. The Hulk has kind of been in a character right situation, just like the X-Men were, just like Spider-Man currently is when it comes to Marvel. So, in other words, I want to say it's Universal Pictures that owns the rights, the distribution rights. So, in other words, Marvel cannot make a standalone Hulk movie unless Universal agrees or they have some sort of deal. That's the only reason, and for whatever, I don't know why Universal don't want to play along and make some money, but they own the rights. Now, this goes all the way back to when Marvel was filing for bankruptcy and they were selling off their character rights. Universal happened to buy the Hulk one. So as it stands right now, we cannot have a standalone Hulk movie. And instead, he can only be featured in things, but he cannot have his own movie according to the rights or whatnot. But let's go to Ruffalo's what he said in the interview here. He said here, naturally, the interviewer wanted to know when he would finally get to headline his own movie as the iconic hero. Unfortunately, it looks like this may never happen. Ruffalo said, Kevin Feige asked, what would you like to do? He said, what would you do if you had a standalone Hulk movie? And I said, well, I'd like to take him from this raging maniac to sort of this integrated character. Now, first of all, let me be clear. This is one of the reasons why, and I like Mark Ruffalo. He's a very nice guy. Talked to him for like 30 seconds. Very cool guy. Very nice. This is one of the reasons why I've had one of my big issues with the Hulk. They put it in Mark Ruffalo's hands. Okay. And this is true, right? Like, he's the reason why we now have Smart Hulk passing out tacos and all that. This is because of Mark Ruffalo. Okay. He sat down with Kevin Feige. Now, Kevin Feige deserves some blame too. He greenlights this stuff, but they sat down together and they sat there and was like, okay, well, what do you want to do? And he was like, you know what? I think the Hulk, the big raging green machine, I think he should get smart and tone it down a bit. Now, let me be fair. In the comics, that does happen. You do have a lot of different versions of the Hulk where he has, Mr. Joe Fix-It, where he, Smart Hulk and all that. Like, you have different personalities of the Hulk where he does have a little bit more of a timid approach, right? That's not what I signed up for. Is that what you signed up for? When you hear of the Hulk and you're paying your top dollar to go see it in theaters, is that what you're looking for? Smart Hulk? Now listen, I'm not opposed to having them experiment with some things and all that. That's fine. Matter of fact, let me help them out even more. I would have been cool if they had real Hulk, Savage Green Hulk come out. You get mean and green on the screen. But when it comes to the Disney Plus stuff, imagine if they just did Smart Hulk only during She-Hulk. Cool. I think that would have made perfect sense. But during Endgame, that's what you was gonna leave us with? I don't know. I don't know. Like, you can do I think with the Disney Plus series, Marvel can do the experimental versions of Hulk over there. That's where you give the supplemental side stories. But when it comes to the big screen, if my Hulk is not big, mean, and green and tearing everybody apart, what are we doing? What is the point? So y'all can thank Ruffalo for that. He just said it himself. I've been telling y'all that, and people's like, man, stop blaming Ruffalo. No, that's him and Feige. They came up with that. Now, he goes on to say, and he's like, okay, this is Ruffalo's talking about Feige. And he's like, oh, okay, we'll do that over the course of 4 movies. We'll never give you a standalone Hulk Let's just get that. Don't mean to burst your bubble, but that's not happening. So we'll do it over 4 movies. So I want to clear some things up here because some people have been running with that story or that headline and they're saying, like, oh my gosh, we're never going to get a standalone Hulk movie. And this is where I call Cap once again. Mark Ruffalo, to give you guys context, when he was talking to Kevin Feige, this was way back in the day. This was right before Age of Ultron. That's what he's referring to. And I think because people only read the headlines, they don't know what he was referring to. They thought he meant from this point on, because that's when it's being reported, that we're never going to get a standalone Hulk movie. He was talking about breaking up his Hulk story because at that time, they still did not have the rights. And they were like, well, to give your character a story, let's do it over 4 movies. And they did. We had it in Age of Ultron. We then had it in Thor Ragnarok. Then we had it in Infinity War and in Endgame. Those are the 4 movies that was being referenced in terms of Hulk's story. Now, trying to put a little positive on this some way, somehow. It is possible because I told y'all the character rights had been tied up with the Hulk, and this is one of the reasons why Marvel cannot make a standalone movie. But there is hope. There is hope. All right. So in this article, and this was a while back, we reported this, but like I think a lot of people forgot about this. It says here, according to an SEC filing in 2006, it is confirmed that that Universal agreed to distribute The Incredible Hulk and any sequels under the same terms as Marvel's deal with Paramount. That was the other distributor. To that end, the referenced SEC filing with Paramount laid out the terms of distribution within an initial 15-year period. As such, this suggests that the distribution rights for The Incredible Hulk would be set to revert to Marvel in June of 2023. Guys, it is now February 2024, which means if that SEC filing is correct, Marvel already has the rights to make a standalone Hulk movie. And there have already been, some of the inside leakers, scoopers, and all them. They've already said that Marvel is kind of working on a solo Hulk movie. So I do want to kind of just give people that little reassurance that, you know what Mark Ruffalo was talking about before was dated. That was the Hulk movies, or we couldn't get a Hulk movie before, but it's all up in the air right now. And I think Marvel would be silly. They would be idiotic if they do not pursue one of your popular characters, one of your most well-known characters, and not follow up with a solo movie. Bob Iger had just already talked about we're going to lean on our stronger characters when they're going to do certain movies. So I think that this is prime. We already got Thunderbolts coming up with Sentry. Hulk supposedly is going off world. Comic fans, y'all already know how that goes down. So I think we are going to get a Hulk movie at some point. Yeah, I'm calling cap on that right now. But y'all let me know. What do you think about this Mark Ruffalo interview? This whole misspeaking, do you believe him? Do you think that he was misspeaking? Do you think it was a Freudian slip? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. This was just a segment of one of my live chats, and if you're interested in joining in on the next one, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications for more. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.